to the 2022 edition of the Beginning Band's first concert. My name is Mr. Goodwin, and I am the band director here at Helfrich Park. I think this is my 9th year here. Some of you may have had their older brothers or sisters come through the program. We just have such a rich history and tradition at Helfrich Park of having wonderful fine arts programs, and we couldn't do that without the support of a lot of people. If you'll notice on the program, we listed a lot of those folks there, but I would like to recognize this evening our assistant principal, Mr. Sherry, is here. If we can give him a round of applause. And we do have a number of faculty members and alumni students. We had some of our 7th and 8th graders stay after school today to help out because they were so excited to see the beginning band and how they're coming along. So if we could give those, the faculty members and our students a round of applause. And our fantastic director of bands at Wrights High School, Mr. Alex Grimm. If you have any questions about high school bands, over here. Thank you so much for your support. So it's been a joy to work with these kids this year. They are so interesting. You know them. They're wonderful and peculiar. But the first time they walked into the band room, I was perplexed because they didn't know how to sit the right way. They didn't know how to hold their instruments yet. And oh my, you should have heard that very first Saturday. As you can tell, I had my work cut out for me. Well, thank goodness you did such a good job at home that they were quick learners. And in just one lesson, we learned how to sit the right way. We learned how to hold up our instruments. And then we learned our first glorious note. Well, as you can imagine, just knowing one note's fantastic for a day. So we decided to learn a few more. And after we knew our first 3 notes, we could play this. And thus our journey in beginning band was started. Well, these kids were such advanced learners that we very quickly learned 2 more notes, and whole notes, and half notes, and quarter notes, and rests. And before long, we learned our first song, everyone's favorite, Well, that was the point that you guys all know about, because they were super excited, because once they all passed hot cross buns, they were allowed to bring the instruments home for the very first time. So hopefully, when you guys heard that instrument at home for the first time, it didn't sound like the first sound they made this evening. It sounded more like that joyous, beautiful sound you just heard. So what I would like to do next is to break the band down into the families. So that way you have a chance to hear a little bit closer what the different families of the band sound like. So we're going to start with the woodwinds. And the woodwinds are going to play Au Clair de la Lune. And then after that, I'm going to feature the brass. And you're going to hear them play Mary Had a Little Lamb. And then after that, we're going to feature the percussion. And you're going to hear them play Merrily We Roll Along. Sounds a lot like Mary Had a Little Lamb, but I promise you it's different. Awesome. How about those instrument families? Wasn't that fun to hear? They were so competitive about that. They were like, well, we know that my instrument family is the best instrument family, and there's no way we're going to let any other instrument family be better than our instrument family. So you taught them the value of family, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate deeply from the bottom of my heart everything you do for your kids, the support that you give them. We know it's not easy as parents with scheduling and multiple activities and a lot of things going on. You know, myself being a multiple sport athlete a few years ago, a long time ago, and being in band, I know it takes a lot. And now as a parent myself, I understand. So I always want to make sure I say thank you for two things. One, thank you for the sacrifices you make to provide this for your kids. And thank you for raising them to be the way they are. They're a joy to be around every day. I can joke with them, and laugh with them, and play really difficult things, and they just go for it. And that's because of you. So thank you guys for being you. You guys want to clap for your parents? So you're going to see some things coming out really soon. I do, believe it or not, try to keep my emails really short, because I understand. So please be on the lookout tomorrow. You'll be receiving an email about the next event that we have coming up, where all the students will have the opportunity, if they choose to play a solo for a judge, and that'll be in January, or the end of January. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. We'll be sending a form home with them as well. So we're excited about solo and ensemble. They don't even know about it yet. They're so excited. You see how excited they are? Yeah. So, speaking of solos and sections and solis, the next thing we're going to play for you is Good King Wenceslas. And what we will do here is we'll break the band down even further so you can hear smaller sections being featured. So this is a really good one to make sure you're videoing, because you'll have a really good chance of hearing your kid. The first group you're going to hear are the flutes and clarinets. And then you'll get to hear the saxophones play with the oboe and bassoon. After that, you'll hear the percussion. Then you'll hear the trumpets with the French horns. And then at the end, you'll hear trombones, baritones, and tubas. And then one last time through, you'll hear everyone play the song together. As you can see, our percussion section in the back had to do a little bit of a scene change. They are now going to play actual non-pitched percussion instruments on our big, grand finale. This is one of my favorite winter songs. I thought it was appropriate, given the season we're in, to end the concert with. We have a lot of traditions this time of year, and I'm sure every one of you, your own families have your own things you look forward to. But one of the things that Mr. Sherry and myself really look forward to is the Helfrich Park tradition at the end of every concert, that while the students are putting away their music stands and their instruments, the community helps put the chairs back on the chair racks so we can all get to dinner as quickly as possible. So if you're able and willing, if you can help us out with that, I would appreciate it very much. Can we give these kids, before they play their last song, one big round of applause? All right, here we go, Jingle Bells. Thank you guys so much for being the best community to teach music in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great night.